I think we're gonna do the video first. No, I got hit as a collateral damage. That's wild, actually.
Go anytime.
Camera roll.
Hey everyone,
Kinda loud.
I'm Gavin Winter, Senior Systems Designer on the Overwatch team. We're back with another developer update to talk to you a little bit about some of the upcoming competitive changes. My teammate, Senior Research Scientist Natasha Miller, will tell us about updates to
Guy
Defense
got
Matrix
T-bone
later.
spun and hit
A few
you.
weeks ago,
Yeah,
we heard from
that
Aaron that
also
heroes are coming
screams
out of the
Florida.
Battle Pass, and they'll be available for free the day they launch. He also talked about the new Mythic Shop, as well as the upcoming Clash playtest. He closed with a little sneak peek at what we're covering in this developer update. Season 10 is just around the corner.
Talking
and we're
to Z
excited to share these changes with
in
you,
chat.
starting with how we're updating the way you can play with friends this season. So let's talk about exactly how that'll work. We think Overwatch is at its best when you're playing with friends. So our new system in Season 10 lets any rank group with any other rank. That means, for example, if you're Plat and you've never been able to group with your friend in Bronze, you will be able to do that now. We'd refer to your group as a wide group because you and your friend are pretty far apart. There are some trade-offs for wide groups though.
What? Doobie, you're crazy. Messages aren't coming through in chat. They're in chat. I was talking to ZZ is too short. I may have been talking to him before you joined back, and you're just not seeing the messages because your internet died.
They only play against other wide groups, the queue times could be longer, and the matches will be sillier. We'll still use our role delta tech to try to match you against similarly shaped groups. So if you're a Plat tank and your friend is a Bronze support, we'll try to find another Plat tank and Bronze support to match you two against. At the end of a wide match, you'll see a new modifier just for this system. Avoiding boosting is really important to us. So the wider your group is, the less your rank will change after any match. If you're Bronze and you're grouped with a champion player, you can expect almost no change to your rank.
Okay, so my question then becomes, what's the point, right? So if we're going to open up matchmaking to be wide so that you can have wider matchmaking and your rank isn't going to really change when you play comp, then like, why wouldn't you just play quick play? It doesn't make any difference if your rank doesn't change, right? Maybe it's like an environment kind of thing. You want to play in the competitive environment. You want people to actually be trying. I don't know. It seems kind of silly to me, though. Like, if we're going to open up these grouping restrictions, then I think it's interesting that we've made the decision to not move the rank much. I understand why on one token, but I just think it kind of defeats the purpose.
Regardless of the outcome. We expect all this to be a huge match quality win for our solo players because they'll never play against wide groups. We think of groups that are close in rank as narrow. So narrow matches will only be solos and narrow groups. All this means that you'll be able to choose whether you want to prioritize the highest match quality or playing with friends.
Actually, there's some value in it there that I didn't hear yet. So essentially, they're taking the wide matchmaking groups just completely out of the pool for people who are solo queuing. That kind of happened anyway already, though, I think.
We're also expecting to see
Like,
fewer
you didn't
smurfs
really
after
play
these
against
changes,
stacks.
too, since we know some players were only creating alt accounts to play competitive with their friends. We've heard your requests for more void slots, but having more than 3 in our current system breaks matchmaking for high-skill players. We realize that basing our void count on that restriction hamstrings the system for 99% of players, though. So, to add all the new features we're about to discuss, we had to rethink what it means to avoid players from the ground up. First off, we're increasing the number of avoid slots to 10. We're also going to let you pin some avoided players so that they never fall off your list. The trade-off we make to get these features
that's
is
actually
related to our
nice.
next new feature. You'll now be able to prioritize.
Because, like, I don't know, there's definitely some people that I would like to just leave on my avoid list, for sure. Like, all the time. And that is actually more indicative of providing value to the more average player. Because the likelihood that you're going to run into the same person in the same day is pretty low if you're like Plat, Gold, anywhere in there. It's interesting because Bronze actually, low Bronze actually has a very similar problem to high skill or high rank players in this fashion, where there's not enough of them to go around. But if you can pin them on there, that'll be nice.
Where players at the top are most likely to be avoided. For players below Grandmaster, that's most of us, you can expect all 10 avoid slots to be reliable, but we still want to give you the tools to organize your list by how much you dislike the players on it. For our highest skill players, this feature is particularly important because if we can't find a balanced match, we'll start ignoring players at the bottom of the list in order as queue time increases. Another area we're addressing will bring changes to our lever penalties for unranked and competitive play. Right now, on the unranked side, our penalties kick in when you leave 4 out of your last 20 games and get worse when you leave 6 out of 20. We aren't changing those, but we are adding a more lenient 5-minute penalty if you've left 2 out of 20, and a much more harsh 48-hour penalty if you've left 10 out of your last 20 games. Now, there are...
Okay, so how do I feel about this? Leaving games is bad. 4 out of 20 is not a lot. But that's how it's been, and I haven't been banned for leaving games yet. So that's probably fine. I've definitely left 2 games out of 20 for sure. Get a 5-minute ban there. I don't know. I think if you leave 50% of your games, you deserve a 48-hour ban. I reserve the right to be that. I don't know. That's not like I had a bad game. You know?
Aren't a lot of players leaving more than 50% of their matches, but they do exist, and we think the game would be better without them most of the time. On the competitive side,
this is what I'm worried about right here. Right there. That's interesting.
An edge case by suspending any players that leave more than 10 matches a season. We're also going to start counting matches completed in competitive toward the 20-game window for unranked. Finally, I want to talk to you about our improved anonymity features. We already had a streamer mode, but we're making this feature more useful to all players, not just streamers. Right now, this feature is client-side only, which means it only changes how players' names appear on your screen. The big change we're making is adding server-side functionality, which means we'll change how your name appears on everyone's screens in your match. We think this is great for players who may experience harassment because of their battle tag and just want to queue up without any chance of that happening.
Streamer mode's good.
Don't forget to report players that harass you or anyone else, though. And speaking of reporting, don't worry. Players in streamer mode being disruptive in text chat or voice can still be reported, avoided, and blocked, and penalties will still apply to them in exactly the same way as normal, because we still know their name behind the scenes. Next, Natasha will talk to you about our main initiatives to combat disruptive behavior.
Thank you, Gavin. Hiya, I'm Natasha Miller, a senior research scientist at Blizzard working on Defense Matrix for Overwatch. While we are always working in many areas of combating disruptive behavior, today I want to talk about disruptive chat. I'll also touch on some of the tools that we're improving to help keep the community safe. Disruptive chat can really negatively affect someone's experience in-game. In our focus to curb this disruptive behavior, we are taking a multi-pronged approach that will roll out over several seasons. Today, I'll discuss the first 2 coming out in the next few seasons. In our first approach, we will prevent players at endorsement level 0 from using text or voice chat. To be clear, the only way to get to endorsement level 0 is by having your account actioned for an in-game infraction. Even brand new players start at endorsement level 1. So these are players that have proven themselves to be bad actors, so much so in the past that they received a penalty. This feature would allow those players to take a forced break in team and match channels until they work their way back up to endorsement level 1. And from there, and all...
Okay, so... I don't know. I guess I don't see anything innately wrong with this, but there's a lot of stuff floating around the internet that the report system is kind of not great right now. Not because the idea of reporting people who are disruptive in chat, but because you can like force ban people if you're in a stack. Like if your whole stack reports somebody, they're just going to get banned. Like chat banned, I mean. So, I don't know. If those rumors are true, then this is fine. Or if those rumors are true, then this is bad. If people are actually like reviewing reports and stuff like that, then this is fine. You shouldn't be a dickhead in chat.
All higher levels, chat would work as it did before. Remember, the best way to work your way back up to endorsement level 1 is to demonstrate good teamwork by trying your best, helping your team, and using the in-game ping system. In our second approach, we will remove chat functionality for spectators. Spectators don't have an in-game need to use the chat channels. And by removing their ability to chat, we remove a channel that is increasingly being used by bad actors.
I don't like this at all. I think this is extremely unnecessary. I think the report system should be more than adequate to handle any bad actors, as you say, for spectators. And I think that some really interesting interactions come from spectators being able to chat. I do not like that. I think that is ridiculous.
We are looking at making it easier and faster to report any reportable offense mid-match. At the moment, our numbers indicate that most reporting is done towards the end or post-match. And one reason for this is that it's not quick to report mid-match. However, this could put pressure on players to remember that they need to report, who to report, and what to report them for, all after.
Just remove spectators as a whole? Well, they still want to watch the game. And there's a lot of reason to allow spectators into the games that you're probably not thinking about, like, for example, competitive play and things like that. Although that's a custom game, so it's probably entirely different. But joining on your friend and just watching them play while you're waiting for their game to end, there's something to be said for that.
The match. And
or live coaching is another
just starting the next match.
Good reason.
So we are hoping that by making it faster to report mid-match, more players will use the reporting system. This is very important because we rely on players to help us know what is happening in matches so that our mitigation systems can be more effective and reliable, overall making Overwatch a safer community for everyone. Player feedback is a vital part of improving and optimizing these types of features. So we want to create even more avenues for you to share your thoughts with us. In Season 11, we're introducing the first iteration of player surveys into Overwatch 2.
This is the new developer update for Overwatch. Actually, I need to change my category back. I was on just chatting, but this came out today. So we're just kind of going through it.
This won't happen after every game because survey participants will be chosen at random among the player base. The survey will be prompted after the progression screen at the end of match flow. This means that you'll be able to watch the play of the game, give endorsements, and review progression without getting interrupted. Once the progression screen is closed, the survey will prompt the player for their feedback. Both console and PC players will get the option to give us feedback via a QR code. PC players may also choose to open the link in a separate browser. Surveys will ask questions about the game, including modes, for their feedback, progression without getting interrupted. After the progression screen at the end of match flow, this means that you'll be able to watch the play of the game, give endorsements, after the progression screen at the end of Overwatch 2. This won't happen after every game because survey participants will be chosen at random among the player base. The survey will be prompted after the progression screen at the end of match flow.
So we're literally adding like customer service surveys to Overwatch now. Those things are annoying as fuck. What? I don't know. You like surveys, Tillman? You would.
This means that you'll be able to watch the play of the game, give endorsements.
I guess it's not a bad thing. My biggest problem is the fact that just trying to get through the end of match title screen bullcrap is already annoying. It's like you're being held hostage. Like, why can't I just hit escape? You know, it opens up the pause menu and I have to wait for that stupid little bar to load.
Once the progression screen is closed, the survey will prompt the player for their feedback. Both console and PC players will get the option to give us feedback.
It means that you would like surveys.
Via a QR code. PC players may
not really
also
anything
choose
else
to open the
in
link in a
that.
separate
Also,
browser.
Gold Widow moment.
Surveys will ask questions about the game, including new modes, events, features, and how you feel about the way we're mitigating disruptive play. We're excited for this feature, and we look forward to continuing to improve the game as we gather your feedback. These are just a few of the things we have been working on in this space. We will continue to bring you updates on our progress mitigating disruptive behavior via the Defense Matrix blogs, which will get a refresh in the coming seasons to include even more on the impact this work is having in the community through transparency metrics. Defense Matrix and Competitive will always be core to Overwatch and will continue iterating, improving, and of course listening closely to your feedback on these systems. So please keep sharing your thoughts with us, and we can't wait to show you what we've been working on in Season 10 and beyond. See you soon!
Natasha said you will not be getting an outtake out of me today.
Well, that clip just came off. Any reportable event in
And they get worse.
every and reliable.
You got so close to the end.
All right, he's coming back for another pass.
Circling.
Oh,
In big time, you can
damn
collect
you,
big time.
cards. You don't understand a word she's saying. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not watching a whole 8-minute video again. Sorry.